We're getting live now. And let some people get on and then we'll get going.
Yo, yo, yo.
So we just get a few minutes. Ugh.
We have no special guest today, right? Just
Nah,
me and you,
for the most part, it's just us. I mean,
unless somebody wants to pop on.
yeah,
I think that's what we can open up to, like when we start talking about some of these recs and comp scores. Maybe if we got some guys watching that want to talk about some of those games, because I know I didn't see any of those, so I don't even know really other than the scores. We can go over the scores and kind of from our predictions from the beginning, kind of see where just how it started off.
yeah, of course, we're going to go through all the levels today. We're just going to let a few more people get on before we get going. Pretty much, we're going to talk about week one recap, look at some videos, look at some scores, go over that, like you said,
You
and then
said we're gonna play some of those rec highlight videos here.
we'll play maybe a little bit of one or two, but we'll get some of these rec guys on. We'll talk about rec scores, and then we're gonna go all the scores all around, and then get into elite. If you haven't yet, make sure you filled out your rosters for the season. We have caught a couple people already that we've had to suspend because they tried playing on more than one team.
Already, huh?
Already week one, so
What division?
Rec and comp.
Okay, well, that can happen.
So you got to pick your team. Only play on one team per day. You got 3 weeks to do it. Just be smart about it. But we're gonna open up with our intro, and then kind of go from there. Welcome back, everyone. If you have chats yet, let us know if you're interested in hopping on and saying your opinion about some stuff we're talking about. We're going to talk about week one results. And Jeremy, I pivoted real quick. We're going to actually talk about the elite scores first.
Okay.
We're going to come back to elite. We're going to talk about week two. So let's talk about the um, week one scores for elite. We close this other one so we can get a better view.
Yeah, we got to get into that first game in Elite. Dinos Reapers.
Yeah, Dinos Reapers are that first game in Elite. Reapers, we saw that game and it ended up being Reapers 22, Dinos 8. It definitely felt like that the Reapers came out to play. It had a lot of great action going on. Let me pull up that stat sheet real quick. Just for those at home know, we are keeping stats. We are trying to go through. It's week one. We're working out all the kinks with the stats, as well as validating them with the captains. So we're talking about week one. Reapers had Alex throwing for 3 touchdowns in the week one, with Tone, Brad, and Steven all catching them from him, putting their first points on the board for the season. With Dinos had down to Marcel for their one TD. So yeah, that is Dino's first loss actually in a long time. So that was a big week one opener for them. I know that you had Jaman over there from Reapers letting them have it a little bit, chirping away. It was a very good game to be there for. I think Reapers definitely set the tone for the NFB season, being one of the teams that probably put the most points on the board on Sunday. Let me double check that, but I think they were their team. Yeah. So they were the team that put the most points up there with 22 on Sunday. So it was very close games for the most part on Sunday with the Elite. Now we're going to talk about the VG's Hammer game. VG's Hammer game was pretty
Well, can
close.
we go? Can we before we pivot to the VG's Hammer game? I kind of want to talk about that Reapers Dinos game a little bit longer, only because that's one of the teams that just is showing their first time in Northfield Elite, coming from comp, a team that kind of did well down there, tried their hand up now at Elite. You know, a team that's still 22-8. I do think that if you look at that, you're kind of surprised about that. I know I'm surprised a little bit about that score, and nothing to take away from Reapers, because Reapers is a very, very good team, as you can tell, and as Dinos just saw, very well put together. Alex has his system, he knows what he wants to do, and if you're not ready for it, as Dinos can tell, it can come at really fast, and all of a sudden you're down 20 something nothing. Watching that game, I did see Dinos keep fighting back until the end of the game. I think they scored that last touchdown near the end of the game, so they kept on fighting. We'll see how they bounce back this week. It should be very good game for them coming out of this. But I think this right now, this first game, smacked them in the mouth a little bit. Hopefully they answer back. But I was very, very surprised by that end score.
Yeah, I definitely was not expecting it to be Reapers taking the majority of the control. I think Dinos were working out some kinks early on in the game, not necessarily connecting on a bunch of plays, but they did have. I think they had a great turnout. I think they just had to capitalize on some plays that they just weren't able to punch it in. And I think those plays right there is what kept them out of the game. To be honest with you.
Right. Yeah, but definitely, like I said, Reapers came out first game of the season and they showed out. So hats off to them, like I said, because they're ready. They're a team that's been in elite for the last couple of seasons, so they know what kind of to expect week in, week out.
Yeah, definitely. But let's pop over into the next game. We're talking about BG's 13, Windy City Hammer 7. That was a close game. It was not bad at all. The stats kind of all weekend were pretty straightforward. There, not one team I felt like made a breakout stats. I mean, you're talking about like between you guys and not perfect because you had the two games with BGs. You guys had a little bit more stats, but I wouldn't say the stats were anything abnormal for week
No.
one. I think it was pretty off the bat for the most part. I mean, Vince himself on the day threw for two touchdowns, which we'll talk about his next game as well versus you guys. And then you had Lance in there for two touchdowns on the day with Jermaine Mello as well. So you have, I'm pretty sure we're missing. No, I think that's all of them because there was only three total between the two here and then the one in your guys' game. And then Hammer themselves, I mean, Tap and Reggie got in for their touchdown. Oh,
Yeah.
I think it was.
And again, this game was a really good game as well. You have VG's Windy City, two teams that are coming off of VG's with a strong Nationals. Are coming out and they're still showing that they're still one of the top teams here. And then Windy City is giving them the run for their money too at 13-7. That's a one-score game right there. I know Hammer's got some new pieces. They lost a couple pieces as well. VG's riding with the same old team, kind of, a couple pieces were missing as well. But like I said, that's just a team that's the kind of games that we're going to see. I really feel all year long. I don't think there's going to be a lot of blowouts. I believe that a lot of these teams in elite, their defense is elite. Windy City, VG's, 4TF, Phantoms, New Wave. You go down the list, they got some really good defenses. So it's going to be a struggle all year long.
Well, you're talking about a blowout. We're talking about that blowout in general. We're talking about the next game. Actually, I'm a little ahead of myself.
Yeah, you're jumping again.
I know. I'm jumping. The next game was actually you guys versus VGs. What a close matchup you guys had there. That's the first time you guys seeing each other since Nationals. I was kind of laughing because I forgot who it was, like, oh, since when did 4TF beat VGs? I'm like, well, they just beat them at Nationals.
Right.
And you guys were the only team at the whole tournament that beat VGs.
Right. Yeah, it seems to be a little bit of a rivalry now. We've seen him a lot. It's going to get it's kind of good that we don't see him for a couple more weeks because, like I said, it seems like we've been seeing them for the last couple of months. It seems it's VGs for TF, right? Which is not a bad thing because, like I said, VGs is a very good team. 4TF is a very good team. So that's kind of something that we kind of expected anyways, even going down to nationals like I talked on in the last show. This game, 6-3, very, very close game. Like I said, what's more to say? It's two teams that know each other very, very well. One team who's kind of riding this, this little wave here and keeps on, beating us at the last moment. We had a couple drops ourselves, and we're right back to the drawing board. So it really doesn't stop for us. We keep on moving. It was a great game against VGs. Hats off to them. We'll see them again before the end of the season, before it really matters in the playoffs. So we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I feel like, man, we've seen them so much. They've seen us so much, so it's almost like we literally just keep going against each other. So this week is good to go against a different opponent for us and for them as well.
Well, speaking about different opponents, something that you haven't seen necessarily and that new to Elite, not perfect. You guys came out and you did exactly what you said you were going to do on the podcast. I know there was some chirping going on.
Yeah, they didn't like the slaughter comment, and I mean I can understand why. Like I said, that nobody likes to say that, but what I was trying to say, and I think sometimes the point gets lost, but I think they were going against a team that's been together for a little bit. We've been clicking, and that's exactly what I was trying to say. Is that's a young team, that's a team that's getting it put together, and that's not a bad team. I mean, as you can tell by the next game, a game that I feel. Even talking to Manny and Kobe, I feel like that's the game that they were kind of looking for all week. A lot of bad blood, a lot of talking, back and forth. Good for the game, good for football. But I think that's what they were kind of looking for. They were still trying to get their feet against us, and we were just the wrong team to get your feet against. We're clicking. And even if you watch the VG's game, you can sit there and say, well, you only won, you lost 6-3. At that time, like I said, we're still clicking. VGs knows us, and that's always going to be a battle. But we felt like once we went against Not Perfect, we felt like we were going to control that game from the beginning and all the way to the end. So,
Gotcha. I mean, I think it was, that, like you said, that first match for Not Perfect. And, like everyone said, when a new team comes about, even if they're experienced, they still got to work out all those kinks and the issues. But
because they got a hell of a roster. Like I said,
they do. They
have to see some of their rosters, see the guys that they have out there. Those guys are very good.
Yeah.
And they're not something to just, look past. If you don't come with your A game, again, they're in Elite. And I told Kobe this from the beginning, and it's a good thing that you're in Elite because you're learning at the high level, and they got high talent over there. So keep putting it together. Not Perfect's going to be something to keep watching out for. Can't sleep on them. And we'll see what they do again.
Well, let's talk about Not Perfect, right? Not Perfect had a doubleheader as well. Before we kick off that doubleheader, though, this is kind of how the vibe went.
Jumping and shit. That's game.
So, talking about the Not Perfect New Wave game, the game was a competitive game. Came down to 16-14. That clip right there kind of just sets that kind of mood towards the end of how it ended up. I think it was a very good competitive game. But he got him on that slick play, and that's what, sent them into that final.
100%. I mean, that was a game I felt like coming into it was the game of the week only because of everything. And they showed that it was the game of the week. Not Perfect after, losing 20-0 to us. They didn't turn around and lay down. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of teams, you lose like that. You go into the next game, you're like, damn, it sucks. But they didn't. They balled out. They came back. They showed New Wave that they were here. They're not messing around. And especially because, like I said, with a lot of the talking and everything going on, it was a great game. Even that play right there, I think that tells a little bit of a story. Dom had a great game. Dom kind of is going back in his tricks or in his bag for some tricks and kind of pulling it out there. And Not Perfect, thinking that they played for so long. And some of those people that played with Dom, you would think that some of those things wouldn't happen, but he really definitely showed that he's coming back for something and trying to prove something this year. So New Wave, we'll see what they go. I was really impressed by Not Perfect's game against New Wave. And so it's gonna be a good game or a good season if these are the kind of games we're getting all the time. Like I said, New Wave, Not Perfect, a new team like that battling 16-14, and it was close. Not Perfect came down right after that touchdown that we just saw right there. I mean, it was a minute 40 something left at that point when that touchdown goes, and then he kicked the extra point, so they go up by 8. Right, New Wave's feeling good, as you can tell by then. They got the celebration, which by the way, I want to say something. I thought they weren't practicing, but it looked like they've been practicing that celebration. But that's for another time. Yeah. So
looks like they've been keeping in the back pocket.
They've been practicing, and that's cool. But that game wasn't over. Not Perfect got the ball back, and they drove down the field and made that game really, really close.
Yeah, so, it was.
With a minute 43 against New Wave, which is one of the top defenses in the league. So that shows something right there that ain't nobody scared of nobody in this league. And you better come with your A game all the way through that whistle blows to the end of the game, because everybody still has something in their tank at the end of the game, especially when it's like that, when people are like, talking back and forth. So it's going to be a good season, especially this game kind of just sets it off for this week. Really good week, start of the season. And this game was, like I said, one of my favorite games.
No, yeah, I definitely think that it was the game of the week. I mean, it was the best matchup between all the games were pretty close for the most part. You never necessarily knew who exactly was going to come out on top. But I kind of want to hear from you guys, the fan base, a little bit, what you guys felt like. I mean, he scored on that defense. What defense?
Oh, Manny did score on that defense. Actually, Manny was moving. I saw a couple of passes. On that touchdown score that he's talking about, he moved the ball down the field a little bit.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
And Dre came in there strong, too, with his arm in that game.
Yeah.
And that's what he drove him down the field for.
And again, I will say this. Highlights show some different stories to games sometimes. That game came down to a pass interference late in the corner of the end zone to get New Wave down there that close for a run and touchdown. I don't know how this game goes if that is not called, because it was very, very, very close to being able to be wiped off. They both were kind of touching, shoving, pushing each other. Like I said, you give it to the ref at that point to make the call on his own. But I mean, if I'm the ref, I think I'm holding my flag a little bit, only because they both were going at it, critical moment in a game. I didn't see too egregious pushing back and forth where it threw it off. That ball was kind of high. I don't think Dakari gets to that ball inbound. Again, that's for another day because we don't know. But that did come down to that close of a game.
No, yeah, I definitely agree with you. What are they the refs used to play?
Wave, but we not going to talk about that. And to be honest with you, that's not the one who made that call. Who made that call was Brian, who does not play for New Wave and never did. So, so I can't give it to you that on there. Sorry, bro. But I do get what you're saying. I mean, like I said, you're going to say that, but that was a great game. That wasn't called by Tone though. That was called by Brian, and it was very, very, very close. Like I said, I wouldn't have because of that point in the game. It was very touchy. It looked like that ball was way too high to be caught. That's here nor there,
No, yeah, I definitely think it. I don't know. It was questionable. I mean, there was some questionable. I feel like there was a lot of stuff this week, especially with. I think the crew did a great job with the reffing they did. There were some plays that you kind of were like, okay, you know what I mean? But it was judgment calls that they had to make in this week one.
Oh yeah. I
mean, it was physical. It wasn't. No one was playing soft. Everyone was excited to be back on that field. But let's talk about Let's talk about popping up into comp real quick and talk about the results there. Yeah. So we're gonna talk about the first game. We had Dirty Birds versus Death Row. Dirty Birds ended up winning 22-19. From what I understand, the first half was controlled by the Dirty Birds. I watched a little bit of the clips. Dirty Birds did make some noise in that game, and then holding death row down to that a last second situation where they had to try to onside it. So it definitely, from what I watched from clips in here and there, and we're hoping to have some more clips from there this week. Our guy Ricky will actually be at Olympic Park covering our comp games this week, where he's going to take some photos, take some camera angles that you guys have been seeing all over social media right now. So he's going to be floating from field to field throughout the weeks, and he's going to be hitting each field 4 times. But Dirty Birds death row was 22-19, and then we're talking.
That's very surprising. I had Death Row as one of the top 4 teams coming out. Just looking at it, just from a glance. So Dirty Birds is a good team, so I'm not too surprised, but definitely first week of the season to come out on top for Dirty Birds. That's a big win.
Yeah, I know. Dirty Birds, they're coming out of, like he said, they were a team that wasn't sure if they were going to be in the season or not. I'll be honest with you. And
really,
yeah, they were struggling on numbers. A lot of guys, families, etc. But they were able to pull enough together, get their crew out there, and they're planning to make some noise this season. They recruited very well, from what I've talked to with the captains, and they're trying to be known for that in comp, and they're trying to make their way through there as well. So I know they're aiming to be in that in-season tournament and win that on top of the regular season. So I definitely think the comp matchups are going to be a little bit different than what we expected, because I'll be honest, I was not expecting to be that length. But let's talk about the next game, which was the one that kind of surprised me as well. 2 teams that last season were very far in the playoffs was Next Level and Old Times. Next Level ended up beating Old Times 16-0. So that I was kind of shocked about. I was expecting a closer game. I wasn't expecting Old Times to get shut out week 1, especially after their run last season, the past couple seasons they had. I think we thought this game was going to be a lot closer than what it actually was.
Well, Next Level, absolutely right, because like I said, Old Times had a good season in the fall, right? But Next Level, prior to not because their name, but they have actually stepped it up to the next level coming off of Nationals. They had a very, very good Nationals. They're coming off here. They're making kind of a statement right now in their first win, saying, 16-0 to Old Times. That's kind of a statement win right now for the first game of the season, I believe, for Next Level. This could ride them very good in for the rest of the season. I believe that this will, because like I said, I saw a lot of improvement down there at Nationals when they went to Tampa. They did very well, and as you can tell, they're clicking. So I know it really could be something to watch down there. But Next Level, I'm looking out at you guys right now.
I think a lot of people have been keeping their eyes kind of on Next Level throughout the past couple seasons.
Yeah, they got a lot of good talent, young guys.
They were there, and then they kind of fell off for a little bit. Now they're trying to win back through and make it way up. So I think a lot of people are not sure what Next Level is going to do, but they're kind of intrigued by them.
Yeah, very intriguing. Like I said, I think right now, like I said, they're looking good.
But let's talk about the next game finally, which is Warriors and Midwest Bullies. Warriors came out on top 12-6. This was Midwest Bullies' first game in comp, so a pretty good matchup right there. I know I saw a clip of Johnny Hicks. I don't have the actual clip on me, but I probably could pull it up for us of his touchdown pass deep. So the Warriors came in, they showed out, and they played exactly what they were supposed to do. And Midwest Bullies, they stayed in there. They made some noise their first game in. I watched a little bit of it. I didn't get to watch a lot of it, I'll be honest with you. But from what I saw, they put up a fight to the very end as well. So another
Who does Johnny Hicks play for?
The Warriors.
He plays for the Warriors. Okay.
Yeah, he plays for the Warriors.
Nice pickup. Great pickup. Great pickup.
So, that's that running back kind of family that merged together since they were at the bar. And I think that's
Smart move.
That was a good pickup for them as well, because they got Ray and all of them along with that. So they got some guys down there now.
Smart veteran leader. You know what? And that's what they kind of need, get that veteran leadership on there, kind of teach some of those young guys what to do. And a receiver like Johnny is very good to have, because you can just throw it up and 9 out of 10 times he's coming down with it. So, like I said, that's very, very, very good pickup.
But yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see what they're going to do now next week. But let's talk about the last game in comp, which is Senator Wolverines. Senator Wolverines is actually the matchup that it was a pretty friendly game. I mean, two teams that the guys felt moved away from, and it was their first time seeing each other. So it's going to be a good match. And Senators came out on top 13-6. And they did what they had to do as well. They're like, hey, you may branch off, but you ain't going to beat us. So they kind of was like, hey, nope, setting that tone early on with them.
That's good. It's a good little tone to set too, especially when you have guys that leave your team. They come and play your first week, and you tell them exactly who's daddy, right? So that's good for Senators. We'll see where they go on from this week. Wolverines, obviously, it's something they got to pick up from. We get back to the basics, try to recollect, and see what they can do next week, because you don't want to start out 0-2 in comp. I believe with that many teams, the record's really going to speak for itself. Like I said, if you can go, through the first 7 teams or the first 6 teams, which is everybody, and you run through them, I think that's going to determine the playoffs for me in comp. But we'll see what happens.
No, yeah, I think comp's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen the next couple of weeks. Let's see if I can pull this up real quick. I was trying to grab the clip, but I don't think I'll be able to get it. But no, comp in general, I think, is going to be very interesting. I mean, I don't really necessarily know who's going to take the charge. I mean, right now, if we're looking at first looks at it, I'm expecting to see next level Warriors in that final with Senators right there,
Yeah.
as well as Dirty Birds. That's what I'm looking at week 1. But it's going to be very interesting to see who actually, continues that stride and makes it through to the next second half of the season and maintain that. Because I have a feeling come the in-season tournament, it's going to be that. I feel like that might shake some things up, because if some people fall through X, Y, and Z, I don't know if it'll actually hold up.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Like I said, I'm on the same level as you. I think next level and Warriors right now are kind of, running a little bit on the top side. I would say those are the 2 top teams just coming off of the first week, but it's early, so we'll see what happens.
All right, I think I got it right here.
Let's go to everyone's favorite teams in rec, because they were definitely winning that jersey thing. Jesus.
Yeah, the rec came out. We're going to talk about that too, which I was trying to pull up, but I was actually trying to pull up about that. So the Warriors actually came up on top for that championship. So Warriors came out and they were spamming it. And when I got to the bar, they actually made the Google form crash. So Warriors, congratulations on winning the 10 free jerseys from Positivity. You guys put in 90,000 entries for that team, and everyone
somebody did.
No, I'll tell you what exactly
did.
it was. It wasn't a bot. I can tell you exactly what it was. I have text messages.
Who was it?
It was the Warriors. The Warriors they had like 10 of them that they were just sitting there entering. They had one guy sitting there on Saturday continuously voting. And they were at the bar. When I got to the bar,
he better get one of those 10 free jerseys. That's all I'm going to say. Because
they were all
with a roster of 30
voting. They were just voting and voting.
Can I find out how they're going to give out the 10 free jerseys? I just want to know who gets those. I mean, because like a roster of 30, who gets the 10? Like, do they pick and choose?
And logically, it would be smart if you took the bill from the 20 difference and divided that by how many people are ordering jerseys, and that I feel like that would be fair. Instead of having just 10 free, now you're distributing.
Don't they get their jerseys from Positive T anyways?
I think so.
I was really looking for Menergy to win. I think they need new jerseys.
Menergy?
Yeah. No bullshit. That was my
pick. New jerseys.
Sony Warriors, what are you talking about? I think they got like 5 different sets of them. Didn't they just get one down for Nationals? They have like the W on the thing, and then they got the lightning bolts. I mean, let's be fair here, okay? If you're asking the world, and you put Warriors jerseys and you put Menergy jerseys, and you're like, which team deserves new jerseys? I'm telling you, Warriors is not coming out on top. But since that guy was sitting there tapping along and tapping, I'm glad that they won it. Because that's a lot of work for some 10 free jerseys, especially when y'all don't need it.
So hostile. Jesus. Yeah, man, this thing. Let's talk about the next game because my computer is not loading what I wanted to load. We're talking about the Midwest Jokers Meta Militia rec game, the game that everyone kind of was chit chatting about. They did their thing. I don't think they didn't. I mean, Jokers came out, they played. As you saw the clips on Facebook, they were kind of doing their little thing. I mean, that's how much I really say. I mean, I watched some of the clips. I've been going through.
Where Chach? Hey, I'm not gonna lie, I missed you, bro. Where were you? Were you in playing for?
He was in LA.
Yeah, you were playing OTF, OF. I'm glad you got New Jersey, other than that P on your shit, that ugly ass one you had. Just by the way, I'm sorry because you said 4TF needs new ones. We were waiting to play Phantom, so maybe we can make a bet and have them play because I know that team is not looking too good right now. But let me tell it. But you know what? We'll see him next week.
Oh, well, you're on
that. Yeah, I did.
Wrong.
Yeah, I did get off the game. My bad. I got the headphones still on.
Hey, they want the headphones back?
Yeah, he said they were big.
I don't know if you guys have it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We bought that P for you, Justin, and y'all still dropped the bag by getting ugly ass jerseys. And then what was Nationals jerseys? Can I ask you that? I mean, can somebody please tell me? Please, somebody get on here and tell me the Phantom's thought process to these jerseys for Nationals. I'm pretty sure they were missing an S on the back of it too, right?
You're talking about the pinstripe?
Yeah, the pinstripe. Isn't that like baseball? Like the Pirates and shit, they really want to get copyrighted by the Pirates, don't they?
Kinda. I mean, I don't know.
Tim Grays are not tough, man. You guys might as well join softball with the Grays. I ain't kidding.
How do we get off topic? Is it because I'm slacking over here with these scores?
You're taking forever with your clicking and Justin's.
All right, I'm just gonna go back to the scores. All right, here we go. We're gonna go. Let's go next game. Bandits 8-town Spartans. Bandits 8-0. If you guys want to go see the highlight clips, my damn computer not loading properly. So I was going to pull up the little clips for everyone. But head over to the Field Action Media page. You'll be able to see those clips as well. So Bandits took down 8-town Spartans. Then you had the Menergy Wild Boys game. Wild Boys came up top 12-6 against Menergy. That was a veteran game that I definitely think came down to the wire, and two good teams. There was a lot of good plays in there. I think it was just, I think Wild Boys just came a little bit more prepared, and their QB was moving the ball. I think that came down to it. It's like Menergy's QB as well had some pretty big plays on the day, but I think the Wild Boys defense kind of just held them to it a little bit better than Menergy did. And then we're going to talk about the Venom Intoxicated game. That one was 25-0. So that was the biggest game on the day when it comes to score.
You're gonna go past that Midwest Jokers and Meta Militia game like that fast? Wasn't that supposed to be the game of the week down there in Rec?
Yeah, but I mean, I'll be honest with you, it kind of. I
hold on. You just told me how many people voted for these jerseys things. I think they want to hear about Rec. Okay, because Menergy.
I'm not saying I hear about Rec. I'm just saying you're kind of putting words in my mouth.
I just want to talk about that game a little bit because I saw highlights.
I'm trying to get to this week's games, so
that's the only game I've seen.
Too long, so I was stuck. What game? The Midwest Jokers.
The highlights were. I only saw.
Dude, I had all the highlights.
But there was highlights for Midwest Jokers versus Meta Militia, and then
he just made those. He wasn't originally going to be doing it.
Oh man, I was just saying that's the only game I really watched.
Wild Boys and Menergies was on there as well. Like I said, the clips were good. I mean, they made some plays. I don't know how else to put it. It was a good game.
I get it. It's all good. We didn't see the games. We don't have somebody jump on to help us out. I get it.
If there's any Rec guys right now that want to jump on, I'll throw you on. Help me out here. Throw me a bone. I mean, I was trying to watch as much as I can. Ricky was live. I was doing commissioner duties stuff, but I definitely think the games were good, and I don't think that it was anything surprise. I mean, you're talking. You want to talk about the Meta Militia Midwest game? You're going to see highlights of Alex doing Alex to Meta Militia. Him and Frank get into it. You probably bet if you were at the field, you probably heard them like 3 or 4 times just chapping at each other.
Let's talk about the Phantom players in Rec again. Oh no, that can't be.
No, No, okay, we want to talk about that. It's week 1. And let's talk about phantom players. What phantom players? First of all, it's one guy. It was one guy playing with his friends for 1 week. It's not. It's one singular guy.
Who was
Dean. I have a clip of him scoring a touchdown. It's you. I can't tell someone that, hey, you're an elite player. Like, I hate that controversy. Like, I can't tell you one guy bullshit. I literally watched the clips. Who else was out there? Please, Alex, I'll send you the link right now. Tell me who else
week
was out
1.
there. It's week 1. It's week 1. You can play who you want. They didn't play. I can't tell him no. Like, I don't think people understand that. Like, I can't. Like, how do I say? Like,
you said he scored though, right?
He did score. I'm like,
maybe he might stay there.
You think he would leave Phantoms and stay?
Hey, listen, man. Sometimes rec, you can go there and do whatever you want, and maybe that kind of like maybe speaks to his soul. So now he's like, listen.
I mean, he just wanted to play with his friends. I mean,
isn't there pickup games? Tournaments? No, I'm trolling. I'm trolling. I
add Mark. All right, I'll add Mark. Where's Mark?
I want to know if there's some people saying there's more than just one. Like,
well, I want to know who, because I only know of one.
There were multiple elite players. Oh my God, playing in rec, elite players? No, not Phantom guys. Don't tell me this.
And like, I even put this in the thing. Who's
right,
going?
Kendall, just play ball. Who cares about elite players going down to rec to help a team out?
But like, how is it that you consider an elite player? We had this conversation come to All-Star.
Right.
We've had this conversation, bro.
Right.
You cannot tell someone that they're too good to play at a certain level. It's impossible. If a dude wants to quit and say, dude, I'm done with this elite team, or I'm not going to play, I'm going to go play with them, you can't tell. It's not illegal.
Let me ask you something. Could someone do it this week, second week?
But they just can't play with Phantoms.
Okay. So if they play this week, they can't play.
Teams in one day. You can't play on 2 teams. All right. We can bring in Mark here. Let Mark.
Mark, tell us what happened, Mark.
First of all, you got why you have no shirt on, Mark?
I'm a fucking thug. Let's get that. Let's get down to the bottom of that. I don't wear a shirt on Sundays. I ain't wearing that shit on here.
Let's get to this. Let's get to this elite Phantom players.
Oh, let's do it. They
didn't
learn their lesson the first time they played Warriors. That's what I'm gonna start off with. Warriors should have taught them that lesson. Fuck their friends. Fuck the stigma of who's elite and who's not. A QB to bench himself after playing a whole season and allow another man in to coordinate his team is just beyond me. Let's start with that.
Is this the same team?
He's
the
talking,
same team. Same team.
He's talking about last year. That exact situation is why the conversation of changing summer roster rules is because of what they did. They brought down like half of the
guys. Just put Steve on here. Steve's the guy for the other team.
But they didn't even have. But here's the thing: Phantoms weren't even playing that season. So how the hell can you even be like, no, you can't play?
You have a household flag player's name out there. Padron is a household flag player name, nonetheless. He's out there getting sacked 4 times and throwing 2 picks. Come on, get out of here.
Do you guys think that we're going to see Padron in rec then, with him being a free agent?
The way that quarterback plays for Venoms, they're going to need him.
Damn.
Wait, Steve, let me get him on real quick.
By all means.
Yeah, I want to hear from Steve. What's going on with this Phantom player?
Players.
My bad. Plural. Players.
I want to know. I know
the guys in rec were there.
I'm gonna find this touchdown real quick while we get Steve on, because I know I have this clip.
The person who should be defensive player of the week this week sacked that man 3 times. Come on now. Come on. And we're not going to talk.
What was the score of that game?
25-0.
No, that's this week's game. They won 25-0. They literally put those rec dudes through torture. Come on. This
that bad,
dude,
that's what we're allowing out here.
Who are they playing?
I feel like you're being over dramatic.
Hold on. So that the team that had the elite players,
he's too good. How can I tell a person you're too good to play?
Intoxicated was the team they played.
Bro. Intoxicated was drunk.
That's what I'm saying.
that's in the team name. You can't allow that shit to happen. Those guys were playing with their friends. This guy is down there fucking recruiting up in elite. Like, oh, you can play in rec and do whatever you want on my team. Come on, dude.
Well, that's not what I mean.
And Manny, yeah, that's the same guy we cut from death row. That's the same one.
Damn. He said just one touchdown, though. He said Dean just caught one touchdown. So, well, it was all the rest of them. So, all right. So, there's a couple players. So, what happens to that team when they do go back to Phantoms, I guess? Because then that 25-0, that game, I want to hear from Steve. Does he feel like this is something that team's just going to do every week? Or did it help having those Phantom players?
And if that's the case, does the first win get taken away?
No.
That they played an unfair fucking team?
Yeah, I guess it's not going to get taken away, but definitely could look different than when they actually play different teams without those guys, right?
Yeah, when after their first round bounce, it's going to be hard to explain.
And you know what's crazy is they'll never see that team again because you guys got so many teams, right? They'll never see Intoxicated again, so it's not.
I think they actually do see them one more time.
How the hell does that happen? Don't you guys got like 12 teams?
All those teams.
That we had because of the scheduling. I think one
Caught Looking is going to beat Venom this week. Okay.
Not looking, talk your shit, man. Hopefully they don't cheat this week.
I feel like it's so
Caught Looking going to look for a roster checker. Oh, there's no rosters yet.
Yeah, man. Week 3, unfortunate league rule that should be changed.
What do you think it should be? Because we had more issues with rosters when we didn't have it this way. Seriously, what? How do you think that like I'm genuinely curious. Like, how can we prevent the rosters otherwise? So, because what happens?
You submit your roster week 1. You fucking if you don't know who you're
this is what happens week 1. People submit their rosters. Dudes are like, "Oh, dude, I didn't know this guy did this or that."
Sit his ass.
Flip.
We got to have more structure and flag. We're supposed to be Chicago's fucking best league. Let's have some structure in this shit. If week 1 someone decides to bounce teams, eat shit. Go play in a different league. Fact of the matter. What's something without structure? What's the military without structure? It's nothing. Why not have that structure? How should the team owners be penalized by a player and expect us to give them a refund after we've already put the money down, which majority comes out of our pockets? After week 1, someone should not be allowed to jump teams. That's
you
a
could
fact.
Submit a roster week 1, but it doesn't lock to week 3. I mean, I think we've done that before, right?
It's got to lock immediately.
I mean,
why would not your initial roster be locked?
Day. Technically, you submit a roster every single day.
You know what? That's a good question. That is a good question, Mark. Why isn't it just locked first week, right? I mean, you practice with these guys, you go and you collect money from these guys, and then all of a sudden you're saying that these guys aren't going to be on a team in 3 weeks, right?
Exactly. We put all that time into process for us collecting. Why the fuck do we have the underhand? We should be in control of everything as owners.
Yeah, right. Like Corey, you're right. They can jump, but no refund. I mean, at that point, I don't think they matter because everyone's paid for it at that point. So
that's what I'm saying. And if I gave the league the money already, why should I have to refund that individual? You paid for the service.
Dude, because then they come to me and try to get refunds for me.
And
then I tell them no. And then I tell all these others. And I'd be saying that too. I'm just saying, though, when we did it week 1, we had a lot more roster issues. That's all I got to say. We had a lot more forfeits, and we had a lot more issues.
Forfeits is money for the league.
Nah, really. It's
let's get into it, Jeremy. Let's get into this shit now.
I'm just saying.
Let's see where the money's going.
You fat in your pocket. Just
yeah.
Like, these motherfuckers be playing with extra guys. You just charge them. Like, yeah, okay. Forfeit. $100. Hey, back in the day, Mike used to be fucking brutal with forfeits, man. He used to be
fucking cheating.
He used to be. I know he used to tell teams like, "Listen, you don't pay your forfeit fee by next week, you get another forfeit fee, and you're not playing. And if you do it 3 weeks or 4 weeks in a row, then you're kicked out of the league, and he wouldn't give no money back.
That's how it works.
Well, then keep doing it, because that's how it should be.
I mean,
play with illegal players. Should automatically, like, I think now we do what? You play with illegal players, it's just a 15-yard penalty.
It's a 15-yard penalty, and then
they get kicked, and then
they get suspended, and then second offense, then it's fines. We took away it's affecting the teams,
right?
Because we found that some players would lie. So, but I mean, fuck it, right? I don't know.
Let's
talk
get back
about
in.
week
Yeah, let's get back into the
You got me
rest
on
of.
the tangent now.
Hey.
Well, we did. Steve's not getting on, so we can move on because I.
Dude, and I sent him the fucking link.
That's
Just
because
please.
a man who benches himself will never get on here and defend himself. I'll tell you guys a story, right? Steve played for my death row team at one point. Steve had fucking 3 completions. I had to put JD at quarterback to run the ball because he couldn't fucking get the job done. Nonetheless, we won the championship that season, but this fucking bum wants to take the full credit for it. Like, you're complete trash quarterback, bro.
Well, I gotta
That's
say,
Padrone's little fucking pet.
this. Remember,
What?
this is definitely something that
You heard me.
This is
It's
definitely
pet.
something that we can, go on a different show about Rec. Rec should almost have their own show.
I'm
here.
trying.
It's getting good.
All right, Steve, if you're trying to get on, if you're having trouble, you want to copy the link and then paste it into the Google tab, and that'll let you gives you access.
Man, you ask JD. JD was at quarterback winning games because his fucking arm couldn't do it. And JD fucking sucks at quarterback. Everyone knows it. I'm telling you, ridiculous. The stigma, stigma here.
Well, if you don't go on, let's get into the next week games then.
Yeah.
Hey, what we should get
jump
into
on
is the offensive and defensive player of the week before you guys jump into that.
Well, see, that's the hardest thing to do. I didn't see a lot of the games.
I am still calculating the stats.
What do you mean, shit?
I'm validating all the stats because we're gonna do the vote. Oh, wait.
Oh, here we go,
Steve,
Mr.
what's up,
Benson
man? Hold
Stone.
on. Before we get to the thing, so this is what the topic is about right now. Is you use some Phantom players to play week 1. It first started off with only one player, but now from what a lot of the comments is, there was a couple players. So here's the floor, Steve. Tell me exactly what happened. Let me know.
It was a couple guys. I'm gonna keep it 100.
Okay.
But I mean, a couple guys don't make the whole team. Everyone knows football, the ultimate team sport. So you're gonna talk about 1, maybe 2 guys. The score was 25-0. With or without those guys, the same exact thing would have happened.
Okay. So you're saying no matter what, you were the better team hands down. With the couple guys or not, you were scoring as many points. Who did you have out?
They didn't score on offense at all. So we could have scored 1 touchdown.
Oh, I see the P running across the screen right now. Okay. There's James Dean.
This is the only one
open
I thought
field.
that was the actual player. I didn't realize they had anyone else.
Oh,
That looks like an
flag
offensive
pull.
touchdown. What the fuck?
Nope. Oops.
I had
All
2
right.
I had 2 offensive players and 1 defensive player. The other defensive player was rotational, and he played defensive line.
Say the
Good.
names. Say the fucking names. Let's get down to that.
The names don't matter.
Well, how don't the names matter?
You know what? Bet.
I know.
It was Jordan Dean and Malik Dunner.
Wait, you had Malik out there?
Household flag player names. Come on now. Come on.
Well, I mean, Malik didn't score, and only Dean did. So I mean, they couldn't have made that much of an impact.
And Malik came late.
Well,
I don't know how I feel about that. To be honest, I don't know.
Dean,
Dude. That's
listen,
two
follow
key
your
guys,
dreams,
bro.
man. You look good in that video, scoring that touchdown.
Oh,
I
and
see
then
I see a lot more in your future if you stay.
I don't want to give no fucking credit, but let's put this on record. I won his first championship, came in for his death row team, won 4 straight, never played with that team before, took him to a championship and won that shit too.
Answer me this. Did you put up more than 6 points at any point?
Yes.
Did you put up more than 6 points at any
Yes,
point?
yes, motherfucker. 2
How many
touchdowns
interceptions
every
did you throw in that 4-game span?
2 touchdowns every game, no picks.
Stop it. This guy's a
wish we
fucking
had filmed
interception
Bro,
machine.
you would
That's
never
why he
won a
benched
championship
himself.
without me. You would never
Call
won a
Daddy
championship without
Padrone
me.
to come and save you. Daddy
How many
Padrone will
years
get out
did you
there.
play?
He'll run your team
How-
for you. He'll get
How many
you
years
right.
did you play before you won one? Not till I got
That wasn't my first ship.
That was not his first ship.
Come on now.
That was
You
not
see,
his first
it's
ship.
players that come in here that come to the league. You Bolingbrook Warriors think you're the shit. Go play on that 2-hand
Bolingbrook.
grass shit.
Bolingbrook.
Is that not your only championship? The 2-hand touch?
No.
Did you not have a gun incident that got you guys kicked out the league? Did you not bench yourself for another man to come and run your team?
I did.
Come on.
Another thing.
Wash down Venom Wreck Warrior.
That's
That's
enough.
it.
You know what? Bring your bitch ass back down to
Wow.
Warriors. We'll beat you again.
Hey, it doesn't matter. I already won 2 back-to-back there. What do I have?
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's not how that works. You got to move up. You got to move up. So I'm hoping. Look, from the way that this is coming out.
Freedom. I apologize.
Hey,
freedom,
you can put me on record. By the end of this season, come summer, we'll be in comp with you, and then we'll just
all right.
And you can put me on record. We're building to be an elite. So by the time you even catch up, we'll be gone. That's it.
All right. I like it.
You're going to have to play the catch-up game your whole career. And you fucking Walmart off-brand quarterback. Fuck out of here.
Walmart off-brand quarterback.
I'm telling you, bro. This guy's a fucking Kirkland brand right here. This is a Kirkland brand. Fucking
worry about your
Hey, all I gotta say is they're gonna be nothing until they see the fucking the Jokers. That's it. Once they see the Jokers, they're fucking game over. We'll see the real team.
You talk about the Jokers. Alex said himself. He said the Jokers are running this shit. He's like,
they are running it.
He straight up said in the chat. He said, you guys are not beating Jokers.
Who's on my roster? I have the top defensive player with 4 sacks week 1.
Don't worry about what we're doing.
Roster. I have fucking Johnny Hicks. I got fucking Giovanni Alicia, who won 17 games straight. I got Jordan Johnson, the second fucking league. Man, I got everybody.
But I'm not worried about it.
Who do you want? I got fucking dozens. I got so much depth I could fucking hang it over your head. Come on now.
I'm not worried about your roster. You over here worried about my roster.
I'm not going to surprise. I'm not going to lie. That's the biggest surprise of this whole thing is just that I'm not going to lie. I wasn't expecting to see or to hear that there was some elite guys playing in rec.
I know.
I know a couple of the comments on here of I think who was it? Someone said that you guys you grew up together. You had a chance to play together. This is kind of one of the things. You guys grew up with Malik.
Give me a second, baby. I'm sunning somebody else.
8-0. First game ever fan voted matchup sometimes this season between these two teams. I mean,
if it keeps going like this, I think we might have to.
Memorial Day tournament.
There's a chance.
We're not worried about the Warriors. Last time we played the Warriors, we lost because the ref blew the blocked kick.
Come on! You cannot blame the ref.
He blew the whistle.
Hey, Giuseppe.
Let me finish. We blocked the kick, and he returned it back for a touchdown. The ref said I didn't see the ball hit the ground, so I blew it.
L's and L, bro. Take it on your fucking chin.
That's how they won.
Take it on your chin, bro. L's and L.
It's cool. We'll see you again.
No, you won't. You'll always be playing catch up. You and your bullshit team.
Yes, bro. Do you even play on your team?
Yes, I do.
Play. I heard you got like 3 snaps.
That's all I need. I heard that another man came in and take your snaps. Never has that happened on my team.
You know what I did? I did the best thing for 25 other people on my team. I said, you know what?
And you guys lost.
You know what? I said
you made 25 other people lose.
You know what?
You sat on the bench and let another man run your team. I could fucking never.
I said, you know what?
I could never. Hey, Jeremy, do you want to come and take my snaps on my team because it's better for us?
I'm gonna put the best player out.
Jeremy, you let me know. You want to come and take some snaps on my team because it's the bigger picture?
No.
Hey, Steffi, you were a top flag player at one point. You want to come and take some snaps on my team because it's the bigger picture? Kiss my ass, bro.
Losing with
fucking watered down. Buns.
I'm do what's right by my guys.
This guy's trash. Talk about your guys. They fucking lost.
You don't even play. You're a cheerleader.
Doesn't matter, bro. I could play 3 downs, 4 downs. I could play all the downs.
You are a cheerleader.
We still whooped your ass. That's it.
This does kind of suck that these two teams won't play each other for a little bit because I really feel the fireworks coming out here. So like I said, hopefully Memorial.
When you cut somebody, that's what happens. They get a little fire under their belt.
How about guys? How about we set this up? So since you guys play in comp and rec, you guys aren't going to see each other. But Memorial Day tournament, can we get you guys to agree now that you guys will play?
Right, Warriors will be present for all the tournaments coming up. We'll do our best to get out of state as well.
We can play tomorrow. I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
We play tomorrow. Is Padron free tomorrow? Is that what it is? You got a schedule? Is that what it is? Is Malik gonna be there? Or Jordan? Let's call Jordan.
He might. They might
save you.
He might.
I mean, and the crazy thing is,
yo, can we get this fucking clown out of here, bro? When he gets his accolades under his fucking belt, he can stay. Let's get him back after he gets a ship in here.
Dude,
this guy is not relevant to any conversation. Really? Even next week's game, he's not relevant.
Memorial Day either. Phantoms don't play Memorial Day.
Yeah, Justin, I believe you can play with Warriors in Memorial Day Classic.
Yeah, because it's an open
Good.
tournament.
And
Phantoms don't play in that tournament usually.
Yeah, maybe he will. Maybe you'll get your wish. Maybe we'll have them both.
we can only pray on it, man.
Well, let's talk about the games in rec since we're already here talking about it, right?
Yeah, let's go back up. Let's go through the games this week. We have rec, and then we'll go through comp because we have a comp player here too. So let's get their opinions on these games.
So the 8 a.m. game is going to be Menergy versus Midwest Jokers. I know that the Jokers had a guy that kind of dipped out, went to what team did he go to? I forgot. Shit. It was like a whole ordeal.
He went to
Probably
us.
went to fucking Venom so Steve could bench himself.
He went to us. No, he's a receiver.
Trell went to you guys?
Yep.
No, Trell played a game with us. Stop
Oh
it.
shit. So there you go.
Yeah, Terrell played one with the Warriors, and
shit.
this fits better with us.
Yeah. Oh.
There you go. Fits
All right,
better
so,
for sure.
all right,
You
so
got-
Midwest
yeah.
Jokers, Menergy. All
Midwest
right.
Jokers Menergy 8 a.m. I think
Jokers by 25.
Jokers by 25. All right, Steve, get a
That game's going to be a little bit closer than that, I think.
okay.
They're on two different playing fields.
Yeah, I think I'm even though I'm a little feel some type of way about Warriors getting those 10 free jerseys over Menergy, I'm still going to go with Midwest Jokers in this game.
Yeah, I'll take the Jokers, but maybe by a score, 2 tops.
Okay, I can see it.
And then I don't know. The 9 a.m. game is going to be Metal Militias versus A-Town Spartans. I think.
I'm going. I watched all the games. I stayed and just kind of watched them all to see. And A-Town, they were light. They had about 12, maybe 10 to 12 guys. I don't know. They didn't look. They didn't look.
Didn't look together.
No.
So Meta Militia is a team.
Metal Militia, a veteran team. I think they'll come.
Okay. So
Did
I'll
they
probably
not
go
just lose
Militia
their
too.
quarterback, though?
Who?
Metal Militia?
Metal Militia lost their quarterback, but I'll tell you what, I don't know what the guy's name is, but they brought another quarterback
They
in.
brought a vet.
He's good.
They brought a vet.
Who they bringing?
Some white guy. I don't know. He got good feet, great arm. He's
Neil?
good.
I think Neil.
I guess he used to play a long time ago. Frank was telling me he won a couple championships.
Neil. I believe it's Neil.
Can't
I'm
be
out,
Neil. I
fellas.
thought
You
Neil was
guys have a
wearing
good
Bumper
night.
Pigs.
Well, maybe
I-
I got confused.
Mark, have a good one,
Appreciate
bud.
y'all.
Appreciate it, Mark.
Steve, good luck with nothing, you fucking clown.
So that's going to be a good
Frank
one.
said
I
don't
gotta
worry.
say, Steve, you guys are gonna have a good matchup next time because it's a lot of talk right there.
I'm gonna have a good matchup.
Frank,
And-
no, Frank, for real. Who's the quarterback? I want to know. I like
He's-
old veterans. That's kind of
He's
what
not
I kind of
gonna
want to
say.
see who he is. But I mean, I got Metal Militia again over that one. I think because, like Steve was saying, if the other team is not really well put together, coming with 12 guys on their first week, it might be a little rough against Militia.
Yeah. And then you got Bandits versus Only Hands.
It's
I don't know what to expect from Bandits because I seen the clips they did. They look like they have some good players on there. They played Caught Looking, and Caught Looking is a team that Justin Morris and them, and they're a veteran team, and they came out and they beat them. So I don't know. And then Only Hands has a decent squad for themselves. So I think that one's kind of a toss up. I don't really necessarily. I don't think it'll be a blowout. I think it's gonna be a close one. I think it'll be a 1-score game.
is the Caught Looking game. That game against Bandit. Is Bandit a new team or are they?
So what Mark was talking about, that Bolingbrook 2-hand touch league, we actually play Bandits in that league every year,
Okay.
and
That's the same team.
not Bolingbrook. But that Bandits team's pretty good. That quarterback over there, he makes a lot of off-platform throws, and honestly, the guy could put the ball 60 yards in the air.
Oh
He-
wow.
Real X factor.
So we have some. They might be the sleeper team then, that no one's going to expect coming out of nowhere.
Oh, okay, so Bandits might be a team to watch, is from what I'm hearing. I mean, if that quarterback can throw like that and kind of put it out there, they can win some games down there. So, and they already started off 1-0 against Caught Looking. So we'll see what they do this week. I would say Bandits. I'm going to give it to them only because I don't really know Only Hands. Not sure exactly who's on that team. So I'll go with Bandits because they're coming off a week 1 victory over a caught-looking team, which I do kind of know that team a little bit. Some veterans, some new guys, but definitely guys who can play the game. So I'll go with Bandits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then we got 11 o'clock. We got Black Mambas versus Rumple Pigs. I think that's going to be a good game. I think that's definitely probably the game of the week. Rumple Pigs came out, scored 14 on the board, had some veteran. That's Catone's team. So
Rumple Pig.
Catone's out there with them. So if you do see Catone, if anyone know who he is out there with Rumple Pig. So that's going to be a good match, especially him go against Black Mambas. That's going to be a very
which is a bunch of Catone guys.
Exactly.
Really,
so
right?
I think it's Catone's family and all of them on Rumple Pigs that is now coming into the league. So I think it's going to be a very heartwarming game for them as well. It's going to be a little bit like old school type of play. I definitely think, but I don't know. It depends on what Black Mamba teams comes out.
Man, that's going to be a good matchup. Rumple Pigs, did they win last week? Yeah, right?
They did 14-0.
14-0. Who'd they go against?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
I think it was Caught Looking.
Yeah, it was.
So they beat Caught Looking 14-0. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a good game. And then Black Mambas, what'd they do?
They won as well.
They won as well. Okay, so 2 undefeated teams.
They won against Only Hands 8-6.
Okay. So Rumple Pigs, I think it's going to be 2 similar offenses going against each other only because they kind of run. I mean, if that's Catone's offense is pretty much on both sides. The only difference would be the quarterbacks and what kind of plays they make. Rumple Pig with Catone on the sideline is very, very good. But then again, on the other sideline, you got guys who know Mike Catone. So I am going to go with Rumple Pigs only because Catone's the man. So I'm going to go with him.
I mean, it's Neil. Neil's, if I'm not mistaken, Neil is the coach for the team with Mike. And they're talking about some spread that I was told that they're looking at. So it is kind of interesting to see the old gen kind of merging into that new style play. I mean, it's been around.
Neil is on Rumple Pigs or he's coaching?
He's the coach.
Okay, so but see, Neil's been around the game for so long, and same with Catone. It's 2 very good coaches out there on that sideline. So Rumple Pig, because I believe even in flag football, to have guys on the sideline that can control the sideline helps out. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Rumple Pigs. I think they're gonna surprise some teams, and I think Black Mambas are just a team that that's been around for a little bit, but I don't know. I'm just gonna go with Rumple Pigs. Something in my gut.
And then we're talking about the 12 o'clock game, which is Venom, your team, Steve, against Caught Looking. I think if Caught Looking comes out like how they did this past week, I think you guys got this in the bag. I think Caught Looking. I was expecting more from them. I'll be honest with you.
They're a team. What I know from their team is they're a team that's really trying to put it together. They're getting the pieces kind of flowing in as the season's starting. So that's kind of with them. Unfortunately, I believe Venom's kind of put a little bit of a target on their back. Steve, I think you can kind of say that with, kind of all the talking right now. Teams are going to look for you guys to beat teams handedly, especially because you just won 25-0. With the guys or without the Phantom guys, that's kind of what people are going to want to see you guys do. So we'll see what happens with you guys coming out this week against a caught-looking team. I know someone they're trying to get their feet together. You guys are coming off a good win. So, yeah, I'm going to expect you guys to, do a really good job in beating them. If you guys have a close game, I'm going to be a little bit surprised.
Yeah. No, and I know a lot of guys already talking in the chat. They're fired up. With or without the guys that we had last week, everyone knows that we got some work to do this week.
And then let's talk about that 1 o'clock game. And I think that it's Intoxicated versus Wild Boys. I don't know too much about Intoxicated. I know that they hang out. They're at Sneakers, so I'm hoping to get to know them a little bit better. They had their whole squad out there, but I think Wild Boys might take that veteran in this, or the previous week against Venom might have just lit Intoxicated. They just need to get that one out of the gate so that they can come out there. I mean, this is their second season now, so.
Well, let's hope. Like I said, that's going to be a comeback game for them because losing 25-0, that kind of sucks. So we'll see what happens in that game.
And then let's get to comp.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right, thanks.
Steve. Thanks, man. Yeah, good luck.
We're gonna talk about comp right now. Let's talk about the Warriors versus Old Times at 7:50 at Olympic. If Old Times shows up like they did against Next Level, it's Warriors game. And I think that's gonna be a good game to watch. But I think that Warriors might have that one.
Yeah, it seems
based on that.
Yeah, it seems like Warriors. Seems like Mark's got those guys fired up. Like I said, and Old Times is coming off of a tough loss, so we'll see what they do too. It's a veteran team over there, and I know they're talking in their chat trying to get it right. So we'll see what kind of game comes from that. But I'm going to take Warriors as well, just from first week.
Yeah, and then the next game we're going to talk about Next Level Death Row. I think this is going to be a good one. I think we're going to have a down-to-the-wire game here. I don't know who's going to win because Death Row plays like they did last week. Next Level does too. You got another very close matchup game.
Yeah, two of my top 4 teams there. A little surprising by what Death Row did in first week, but not from Next Level. But with that being said, I'm going with Next Level. I'm just going to ride the hot hand that they're having. Like I said, I've seen them putting in work, so I'm going to go with Next Level in that game.
And then you got Dirty Birds versus Wolverines. I got the Dirty Birds.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to go with Dirty Birds too. Like you said, it's a team that almost wasn't going to get in this year. Rallied together, got their team in, won their first game coming off. Yeah, I think they're going to ride the hot hand and win a second game.
And then we got Senators and Midwest Bullies. I don't know. I don't know what to expect in that game. Midwest Bullies are a solid team. Senators, you never know what you're going to get out of them, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like if you needed to bet on a team, it's hard to bet on in that situation because it can go either way.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. I believe in that game. You can go the way. I'm going to go Bullies, I think. I'm going to take Bullies only because I believe that they faced the Warriors and gave them a good game or a close game, I would say. So I'm going to give it to them because, like I said, I feel like if they're going against one of the top teams and they give them a game, they could be ready for the second week.
Yeah. But now let's go into Elite. Yeah, because we're running a little long on the show. We got sidetracked, but
yeah, I know how it goes. After an hour, people start getting restless.
Yeah, and we're gonna get right into the lead. We're gonna let some guys chop on real quick. We'll keep this. We'll try to do this in the next 10 minutes or so. Everything, maybe a little bit longer, but we're talking about the 8 a.m. game at Melrose. We got Hammer versus Phantoms. This is Phantoms season opener. They have not played yet. This is the very first game with the new QB.
Thanks, Justin. So I'm gonna let you take a little bit of the 4TF fandom and pause so I can give you guys a little bit of critique here. Phantoms Hammer. I believe Phantoms come out. I really want to see what kind of team they're coming out with, what the new look is for them. A lot of familiar faces, a lot of new faces, and they're going against a team in the Hammer that, again, same kind of thing. A lot of the same faces over there, a couple new faces, a couple guys that came over from Hammer, went to Phantoms. So, Brandon, I'm talking about you. So we'll see how this goes. I really, really want to see this game just to see how Phantoms comes out after some of the additions and subtractions that they made this year. So I'm gonna take Hammer.
Are you taking Hammer because you don't think Phantoms is going to mess with the new QB? Or
yes, unfortunately, I'm putting all my hatred aside for the Phantoms, and I'm going to really think about this game. And I'm taking Hammer for this reason. I do not know what Phantoms is going to come out with. I think they're going to have a little bit of some struggle against a Hammer team. And I know it's early and I know it's 8, so hopefully Hammer shows up, right? No excuses. But, yeah, I'm going to take Hammer in this game, and I think Phantoms are going to struggle a little bit. Just a little bit, guys. Don't get too mad, okay?
I don't know if they'll get too mad. Let's talk about the next game, the 9 a.m., which is Dinos versus New Wave. I think this is a key game for Dinos. They need to come out here, and they need to put some points on the board. I think New Wave, after their game with not perfect being so close, New Wave needs to continue their marching down the field because I think Dinos could upset them if they really wanted to.
Well, this is that game for Dinos. You got to bounce back. And unfortunately, you're going against New Wave, and it's going to be a little bit harder than that first game because I believe New Wave is better than Reapers. So you got to bounce back. You got to hit that drawing board. You got to see what you guys are going to do because New Wave and Dom, they're rolling right now. They, you know what I'm saying? They got their thing going, and it's New Wave. What do you expect? So Dinos, you got to come with everything you got. Give them a game, but unfortunately I'm going with New Wave.
And then we got our 10 o'clock game, which is you guys versus Reapers. We've seen you guys get that double action this past weekend, and then Reapers coming in. Reapers are hot. They're moving on full steam. How are you guys feeling going into this week after seeing the Reapers did what they did to Dinos week 1? They came out cylinders going. They're ready to go. I know you guys are in the same pace now. You know, it'll be your third game into the season.
Well,
third or four.
Yeah, I'm gonna piggyback off our number one fan in Chach, and I'm gonna go for TF. I just believe we are clicking. I do believe Reapers is a very good team, and I believe they're on the same kind of pace as us. I just believe we have a better team than them, and I believe that we're gonna come out. We're gonna show it this week as well. A lot of talk in our message board as well. You know, you go off a week after 1-1 against two teams like that. You're still kind of feeling a little salty about it. So we're talking. We want to fire out this week. We want to show everybody still exactly how we're moving. Dude, like I said, I think our motto, and we're going to stick to this. You guys are going to hear it a lot, dude. We do respect everybody, but we don't fear anybody. I'm going to be very honest with you. We don't look at anybody and say, you know what, let's be honest. Those guys are just better than us. That's not the case here. So we're ready for Reapers. Hopefully they're ready as well. Should be a good matchup, but I have 4TF coming out on top.
And then with the next game, we got New Wave versus Reapers. So New Wave does have that gap right there that they have to wait. Do you think that's going to affect them in this game against the Reapers?
Yeah, that's like I said, I hate sitting. I don't know how they feel about it. Maybe they like it. Who knows? It's going to be a good matchup. Like I said, for New Wave sitting a game, I think that might help Reapers because Reapers going to come off of a game and just get right back into it. A little bit of a closer game, I believe, than the Dinos New Wave game. But I still have New Wave coming out on top on that game.
So you have New Wave going 2-0 on the day again.
Yes, I do. They have good matchups in Dinos and Reapers. I believe they're just a little bit better than those teams. So I have New Wave on top in both those games.
And then we got the last game of the day tomorrow for Northfield, at least. You got VGs versus Not Perfect. I'm going to give it to VGs. I think VGs might go 3-0.
Yeah, you know what? I'm right there with you. But VGs, New Wave, right? Kind of same kind of offense a little bit, maybe a little different here and there, but mobile quarterback, kind of you got to get to that quarterback, not let him make as many plays as he can. They did a okay job against Dom. They didn't do a perfect job or a very good job because Dom is the one that scored those touchdowns. But they did pretty well. I still do have VGs coming out on top, but Not Perfect again. Make a statement. Come out there, ball out, see what y'all can do. But I do have VGs winning that game.
Nice. So I think that kind of wraps up all these week's games. I do want to say good luck to NFE in the TPFL at 10 a.m. The Northfield Elite team is kicking off. We have decided to put a team in there with JD and our fellow 4TF friends and some other players throughout the league. So good luck to them on their season opener. I'm excited to see what that team's capable of, see if we can take them to a little bit more tournaments or whatever we can throughout the season. Hopefully we can get some of those guys to talk on how that game's went over there. And good luck to TFL and TPFL on their season openers as well. So it's definitely going to be a great week of football. I think there's a lot of football to be played. I'm curious to see how everyone does across the board when it comes from Northfield going into that second week with some big games, because you got to remember after this week, some teams are going to be eliminated from that in-season tournament. by going 2-0.
Oh yeah.
So it's anyone's ball game at this point, but we're really going to start getting these next couple of weeks. In the podcast, we're going to talk more the comp, full season schedule, and rec for their graphics. Hopefully, I'll have out today, tomorrow. We are still calculating. Hopefully, we'll have all the stats finalized by the end of this weekend. We're trying to get the players of the week going. It's just taking us a little bit longer to get those stats calculated than we anticipated, collecting them all from all the leagues. So just bear with us on that. Besides that, enjoy all the content we've been putting out there. We're going to be back. Hopefully, our goal is to get as much more podcasts and episodes and get more guys involved throughout the week, as well as we're trying to do some stuff even on Sundays if we can, so that way we get the live action where we can talk about the games right after they happen and freshen our brains. So stay tuned for that. But Jeremy, do you have anything else you want to say before we let everyone go for the night?
Nothing, guys. Just stay healthy. Good luck for the rest of the season, guys, as always. And Northfield Elite. It's where you want to be.
All right. See you guys all next show.